small children, I was looking for a story close to home. I thought you shouldn't have to travel far to find a good story. I'm sure there's a great documentary story very close to where I live. And Michelle is very close to where I live. She has children at the same school as me, and I'd heard about her choir and how she did amazing things with these kids. Like, it wasn't like an ordinary choir. She had these kids singing at this incredible level, and I thought that was intriguing. But then, of course, the choir was in the northwest corner of New South Wales. So it wasn't close to home, but it was a great story.
Keep turning, you'll find it. Yes, good, good, good. Have you got it?
I took a trip out there. They have a music camp out in Barradine, and all the kids come from all across. She covers about 1/3 of the state, and they all come together in Barradine for music camp, and they rehearse songs that they're going to perform later in the year. So I went out there to the camps and saw what she did with the kids, and yeah, I was hooked.
I play the bagpipes. Not very good, but I do like bagpipes.
A lot of people ask me about that. How did you find such great, characters to follow, and how do you know which ones to pick? It was a little bit like shooting fish in a barrel, I've got to say. Those country kids have got something going for them. There's something different about country kids to city kids. I think they've just got a unique take on things. It's not the same as city kids, and the way they talk and stuff, they're very, very funny.
That's close, yeah!
If I'm not going to be a footy player, I want to be a singer. I want to make a fireplace.
I went on the road with her while she was auditioning the kids, which is part of the film. So I was keeping my eye out on those kids, but it was like 45 minutes in each school and just a bunch of kids all singing together, so it was tricky. But Kai, I'd seen him when I went out just to have a look at what she was doing out there. He'd caught my attention, and he was a good little talker and a good little singer and a sweet little thing. And yeah, so it was just a combination of just keeping my eye out with the auditions, and yeah, I got lucky.
The only singing I've ever done is with games that I've got for Wii's or Xboxes.
Well, going on the road with Michelle was madness, actually, adding a camera crew to that trip, because she does, I think, 55 schools in 30 towns in about 3 weeks, and we joined her for 10 days on the road. So you're got a couple of schools a day, boys up first, then the girls, move on to the next school, boys up first, then the girls. So it's an incredible pace. So trying to capture what was happening was mayhem at first, I've got to say, but we survived because she's a force of nature, Michelle. She's got incredible energy, and I don't think anyone else can quite do what she does.
Sometimes I sing by myself. I make up words and then I rush back and write them down.
It's such a gift out there. The landscape is so beautiful, and I'd never been out to that region of New South Wales before, Brewarrina and Walgett and Burke, Cobar, Lightning Ridge, all those places. Yeah, I'd never been out there, and I pretty much fell in love with it. I loved it. It was gorgeous, and there literally are emus running around everywhere, and it's very cinematic. It does have big, wide open skies.
Yeah, my mum has a lot of people that sing in a church, a lot of talented people, so that must be where I get it from. Must be, yeah.
When I first met Michelle and talked to her about what she did out there, I was surprised to learn that there was no access to music education for these kids. She literally knew of all the music teachers in the area because there only were 2 or 3, and she covers a vast area. So these children just don't have the opportunity to learn music, and you actually don't get music at school in the state school system. About 2 out of 10 state schools provide music education in New South Wales, and that's in the city as well. And in the city you can make up for that. You can go and get lessons with a violin teacher or a piano teacher or whatever. You can find that, whereas out there you can't. So I think people are shocked to learn that there's kids growing up having no musical education whatsoever, just not doing any singing at school. I find that shocking anyway. I think I think childhood should be full of songs. So people are amazed by what Michelle does, and obviously it's a positive story in that sense, because here's somebody trying to do something about that, who's trying to fill that gap and give these children an opportunity that they wouldn't have otherwise. So of course it's always nice to tell a story where there's a problem and it's a hopeful story. It has some, you know, not that it doesn't solve the problem, but it's contributing something positive. And I guess what I like about the film is you hear from the children why it's so important to them, you know, why music is so important to them.
Here we go, 3, and.
This would have been fun.